story of Ashwatthama. Background and birth. Ashwathama was born to Dronacharya and Kripi. His birth itself was marked by an unusual event, a cry that resembled the sound of a horse, which led to his name Ashwathama, Ashwa meaning horse and Thama meaning one who is born. He was born with a gem embedded in his forehead, known as the Mani, which provided him with immunity from hunger, thirst, and fatigue and made him nearly invincible. Despite being born into a revered family, Ashwathama's early life was marked by poverty. His father Dronacharya was a Brahmin who lived a life of austerity. In one poignant story, Ashwathama once saw other children drinking milk and asked his mother for the same. Unable to provide it, Kripi mixed rice flour with water, presenting it as milk. Seeing his son drink this fake milk, Drona resolved to do something to change their fortunes. This led him to approach the Kuru princes Duryodhana and Yudhishthira, eventually becoming their royal teacher. Training and skills. Ashwathama grew up learning the art of war and weaponry from his father. He became a master of all forms of combat, and his prowess with the bow and arrow was nearly unmatched. He was also taught the use of divine weapons Astra by Dronacharya, including the use of the Brahmastra, one of the deadliest weapons in Hindu mythology. However, unlike the Pandavas and Kauravas, who had divine guidance and blessings, Ashwathama's strengths were often shadowed by his intense loyalty to Duryodhana and his unwavering commitment to the Kaurava cause. Kurukshetra War. Ashwathama's role. Throughout the Kurukshetra war, Ashwathama remained a key warrior for the Kauravas. His loyalty to Duryodhana and his father's cause drove him to fight fiercely against the Pandavas. He was involved in many significant battles, demonstrating his skill and courage. However, the tide of the war was not in favor of the Kauravas, and Ashwathama witnessed the downfall of many of his comrades. One of the most significant and tragic events for Ashwathama during the war was the death of his father, Dronacharya. Dronacharya, who had been one of the mightiest warriors on the battlefield, was misled into believing that his son Ashwathama had died. This news was a ruse crafted by Krishna and the Pandavas to break Drona's spirit. Yudhishthira, who was known never to lie, reluctantly confirmed the false news, and Drona, overcome with grief, laid down his weapons, allowing Dhristadyumna, the commander of the Pandava army, to kill him. The night raid and the sign of Ashwathama. Devastated by his father's death, Ashwathama's grief turned into a burning desire for revenge. After the war officially ended, Duryodhana lay mortally wounded, and Ashwathama vowed to avenge his friend's defeat and the dishonor brought upon the Kauravas. On the night after the war ended, Ashwathama, accompanied by Kripacharya and Kritavarma, launched a surprise attack on the Pandava camp. During this night raid, Ashwathama unleashed the Narayanastra, a powerful weapon, killing many soldiers. But the most tragic outcome of this raid was the killing of the 5 sons of the Pandavas, the Upper Pandavas, who were mistaken for the Pandavas themselves. He also killed Dhristadyumna, who was responsible for Dronacharya's death, and Shikhandi. This act of killing the sleeping sons of the Pandavas is considered one of the most heinous and dishonorable actions in the epic, marking Ashwathama as a figure of great infamy. When the Pandavas discovered what had happened, they were filled with rage and sorrow. The Final Confrontation and Krishna's Curse. Arjuna, the third Pandava and the most skilled archer, vowed to capture Ashwathama and bring him to justice. With Krishna's guidance, Arjuna confronted Ashwathama, who tried to defend himself using the Brahmastra. In retaliation, Arjuna also invoked the Brahmastra. leading to a potential catastrophe that could destroy the world. To prevent this, the sages Narada and Vyasa intervened, urging both warriors to withdraw their weapons. While Arjuna successfully withdrew his Brahmastra, Ashwathama, unable to do so due to his lack of mastery over the weapon, redirected it towards Uttara, the wife of Abhimanyu, who was carrying Parikshit, the future heir of the Pandavas. Krishna intervened once more, protecting the unborn child, but was furious at Ashwathama's actions. As punishment, Krishna cursed Ashwathama to a life of eternal suffering. The gem on his forehead was removed, and Ashwathama was condemned to wander the earth for 3000 years, plagued by incurable wounds, loneliness, and isolation, shunned by society for his sins. The legacy and folklore of Ashwathama. The curse of Ashwathama has led to numerous legends and folk tales throughout India. Many believe that he still roams the earth, particularly around places associated with the Mahabharata. Some stories claim that he appears as an old man with a severe wound on his forehead, seeking solace but never finding it. In Hindu mythology, Ashwathama's tale serves as a powerful reminder of the consequences of unchecked vengeance, the tragic results of dishonor, and the inescapable nature of one's karma. His story is both a warning and a lesson in the importance of dharma righteousness and the perils of straying from it. Symbolism and moral lessons. Ashwathama is often seen as a tragic anti-hero in the Mahabharata. His life embodies the conflict between loyalty and righteousness. His unwavering loyalty to Duryodhana, while commendable, led him down a path of destruction. The Mahabharata uses his story to illustrate the dangers of blind loyalty, unchecked rage, and the importance of moral choices. His curse also symbolizes the consequences of actions that go against dharma. In Hindu philosophy, Ashwathama's eternal suffering is seen as the result of his failure to uphold dharma, despite being a skilled warrior and a learned man. The story emphasizes that no matter how powerful or knowledgeable one might be, actions against righteousness have dire consequences. In summary, Ashwathama's story is one of great power, skill, loyalty, and tragedy. It is a tale deeply embedded in Indian mythology, serving as a lesson on the importance of dharma, the perils of vengeance, and the inescapable consequences of one's actions.